Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me for another Road to Regionals episode where we're going to be using our not so good team, or also not good team, with the not good Pokemon on it. Except Aegislash. Aegislash is a fucking boss. Anyway, I am hype as shit right now. I just drank a crap ton of coffee because I have to get so much stuff done after I get done these episodes because I want to have daily content. I want to throw another episode out tomorrow and another episode out on Friday, which is going to be Thursday and Friday. And then when you're viewing this, I am likely on my flight to Memphis. So hopefully, you know, it's a safe flight, everything goes well, and I land in Memphis because I already have a bunch of anxiety. I don't like airplanes to begin with. I just got a haircut, so my hair is probably all over the place. I just got home from work as well. So a lot of things going on right now, but we're going to be doing the same thing as always, is trying to pick up some wins with the teams that we use that really aren't too good. Although this team is actually pretty damn good. I mean, 1574, based off of like literally how we had started out as, we climbed back like significantly. I think we lost like 5 out of 6 games, and then I think we were like 3-1 in our past 2 episodes, which is really good, especially with this team, because it's, I mean, if you see on your screen right there, it's not too competitive. I mean, we have the Vikavolt. Vikavolt, I think, is actually really, really good, especially on a rain team, so you can use Thunder. It has the Serena, and I've been seeing Serena around, so we're going to get OG Kong from Iowa, United States. I don't know whether or not OG Kong's going to be going to Memphis Regionals. He's not too far from Memphis Regionals. He's going to have a team of Venusaur, which is going to be the Mega on his, well, it likely is going to be Mega Venusaur, but it could also going to be Mega Tyranitar, and I'd assume that the Tyranitar is going to be bought right here, especially if it's not Mega, so we could switch up the weather. He's going to have the Naganadel, the Cresselia, Zapdos, and the Tapu Fini. All right, so how do we deal with this, and what do I think he's going to lead with? Based on me leading my reign, a Tyranitar and Venusaur lead is actually pretty solid for him, just so that I don't get up the rain. You could bring the Tyranitar in the back as well, but Venusaur is definitely being brought in the front right here. So how can I possibly counteract that? Because Venusaur does a lot against my team, other than maybe my Aegislash, and the Tyranitar is another thing that he could bring in the front, like I had said, because it counters the Aegislash pretty well. It keeps it in check. I could bring the Salamence, actually, possibly get a Draco Meteor on the Naganadel. Do I want to do that though? Because I think Vikavolt's actually pretty solid too. Gonna bring the Vikavolt. Salamence in the back. Well, I'm gonna play really risky. I do have the Hurricane on the Pelipper. Venusaur is actually a really big problem for this team. Not only is Charizard Y a big problem for this team, but Venusaur is in general as well. Especially if it's Chlorophyll. Venusaur, which this doesn't have Chlorophyll on it. Well, likely has Chlorophyll as an ability, but probably doesn't have it in correlation with like a Sun user. But the Cresselia could very well have Sunny Day. Yeah, so he leaves the Venusaur and the Tyranitar, which is a pretty good lead on his part. Now, I mean, I could switch in the Pelipper, you know, to get up my rain, but it really doesn't help me out too much. He could very well protect the Venusaur right here as well, because a Bug Buzz, Shadow Ball would be pretty obvious into that. So I can go for Flash Cannon into that, but also he could very well go for a Rock Slide. Like a Rock Slide Sludge Bomb into the Vikavolt. So I think I'm going to double up into the Tyranitar. But I feel like that's way too risky because the Venusaur is what threatens my team so much. So I feel like, if anything, he's going to protect the Venusaur. But he very well could go for like a Sludge Bomb into the Vikavolt. He can't touch the Aegislash unless he goes for like a Leech Seed into the Aegislash. But I don't think the Tyranitar, if anything, protects right here. Wow. I don't quite understand that play. Okay, double protect, probably getting out at what I want to do. Especially just throwing me into Blade Form, which is a really like smart move on his part. Because if he would have went for like an attack with the Tyranitar right there, I mean, to protect the Tyranitar and attacked with the Venusaur, I wasn't necessarily understanding that play because I could have just doubled up into the Venusaur and the Tyranitar wasn't getting anything off. Really good play. But now does he read into my King Shield right here and go in for a crunch into my Aegislash? Because then I could just very well go for Never-Ending Nightmare and a Sludge... Well, he can't Sludge Bomb my Aegislash. Could go for, like, a Rock Slide, but then I could just Wide Guard. I think I'm gonna base this off of him thinking that I am gonna go for a King Shield right here. This is playing really, really risky. No, I just Rock Slides. Okay, so it's gonna get it off into my Vikavolt. It's gonna do a lot of damage to the Vikavolt. Yeah. Let's see, go for maybe a Sludge Bomb into the Vikavolt. Yeah, Sludge Bomb into the Vikavolt. And unfortunately, that takes me up. And I'm gonna get a Never-Ending Nightmare off it to the Venusaur. Or not. Or I just flinch. Okay, so who do I bring in right here? Pelipper is a good choice. I'm going to have to bring in my Pelipper. I'm probably going to have to go for a double protect, but it also allows him to switch out the Tyranitar. What could it potentially switch in? Now, that flinch is incredibly unfortunate on my Aegislash. I don't think I would have been able to knock out the Venusaur, but a follow-up Hurricane into the Venusaur would have definitely been able to take it out, or also at least threaten the switch out. So that's really annoying, like incredibly annoying. What's he switch? I mean, nothing except the Zapdos really wants to take a Hurricane, but he could very well just like protect. I'm gonna go for I gotta go for the safe double protect right here because I don't want to be stuck in. Gonna go for the double protect. I am giving him a free switch out right here, like a free switch it. Yeah, he's gonna withdraw the Tyranitar, so he could have just went for another Never-Ending Nightmare. So playing aggressively on the turn 2 actually worked out in my favor, but unfortunately I had flinched. Now I am pretty much forced to double protect right here because I didn't want to be able to. It protects the Venusaur, okay, so I could have just very well doubled up into the Tyranitar slot, which would have been able to give me a knockout because the Tyranitar switch out was really obvious. Okay. So the switch into the Tyranitar into the Venusaur slot is pretty obvious because he could get up the sand, I could miss my Hurricanes. So we're going to go for a Flash Cannon into that slot. I'm going to go for a Flash Cannon and Scald into the Venusaur. Yeah, it's going to withdraw the Venusaur and likely into the Tyranitar. Let's see if this knocks out. With the special defense boost, I don't think it will. If, I could potentially get a burn, but the Tapu Fini, I don't think it should be able to take me out with Moonblast. That's a fast Tapu Fini. It takes me out with Moonblast. That's... See, this is why I need to take the Damp Drop off of my Pelipper, but I didn't really have the time to make the changes, because then I'd be able to get a double attack off into the the Tyranitar right here. That is, that's an incredibly fast Tapu Fini. I was not anticipating it to knock me out with Moonblast, so it's likely fast specs, because Simone Sanvito was running a fast specs Fini at European Internationals, which is actually a pretty cool idea. So if he's locked into that, go for a King Shield right here. And then, I mean, there's really nothing much I can do beyond this point other than go for an Earthquake, get some chip onto the Fini, and then, you know, if he wants to switch it in his Venusaur, he's going to take some chip on the Venusaur, but having the Tyranitar go down right here, allowing you, to get the free switch into the Venusaur is just the best idea. So he shouldn't protect the Tyranitar right here. Protects the Tyranitar. Okay, so he could have just got the free switch into the Venusaur because nothing that I go for right here can knock out the Fini. So again, I could have went for a an attack into the Fini because I could have Witterfalled. Yeah, he's going to go for a Moonblast into the Swampert. Ugh, man. I mean, he's playing smart. Just that Tapu Fini throwing me off, like, big time. Tapu Fini really can't do much. So, I'm gonna hope that I survive a crunch. There's no way I win this game without being able to survive a crunch. And the Tapu Fini was faster than my Swampert outside of the range. This is literally the only play I have. I lose the game if this doesn't work. It was looking a lot better if I didn't flinch turn 2. Yeah, he goes for the Moonblast right there. So I'm actually faster with my Aegislash. That's good information to know, because then I could just go for the follow-up Flash Cannon in... Oh, no, wait, the Tyranitar goes. Never mind. Okay, this will be able to take out my Aegislash. So this is good game. Now, I don't think there was literally, like, going back onto this, I like to reflect on what I could have done better. There's really nothing that, in my opinion, that I could have done better. You know... turn 2, where I flinched with the Aegislash, like playing aggressively right there, worked out in my favor, because I had anticipated him not to go for a Crunch, or the Black Hole Eclipse into my Aegislash would have worked out for me. Granted, he knocks out my Vikavolt, but then I get a Never-Ending Nightmare off into the Venusaur, and I don't know the roll. I wasn't able to get it off, so I could have very well knocked out the Venusaur. Especially if it was like a very physically defensive Venusaur. So I get the knockout on the Venusaur. The Venusaur doesn't threaten my Swampert. The Swampert's actually looking really good in this game, because now I can go for the Flash Cannon, anticipating maybe the switch out into the Tyranitar the following turn. He switches in his Fini, you get chip onto the Fini, whereas so that when I go for an Earthquake, I can knock out the Fini, and then I can go for the potential knockout Waterfall into the Tyranitar with the Swampert, and then I would have maybe had Rain, because I wouldn't have been forced to switch in my Pelipper. It could have, like, there's a lot of things that could have changed in that game significantly if I hadn't flinched, but unfortunately, not going to be the case right there, so no point in looking back on it. Mike from Missouri, 1811. Getting all the highly ranked players right here, which is pretty cool. So we have, looks like a Rain Trap team, which with Mega Gengar, Volt Switch, Fake Out, Raichu, Fake Out, Eject Button, Scrafty, Follow Me, Clefairy with Friend Guard, Politoed, and Kingdra. This is not a team that I really like to play against, and this is a team that I was actually using really early on, back in Sun and Moon. So he could lead Rain, but... So you really want to do that against my Rain lead? I guess so, because the Kingdra will be able to outspeed my Swampert. And the water type attacks will still do a lot to my Swampert. How do I want to deal with the trap, though, first of all? I mean, I feel like leading Aegislash is my best decision here. And then, how do I deal with, like, a Gengar Clefairy lead? How do I deal with that? Because I do have the Serena to switch in on the Fake Out, but really, what does that do if he leads the Gengar? I could just go for a Sludge Bomb into it. I gotta pick soon. I don't know. I don't think I really have much for this matchup right here. I could have brought the Serena right there, but what does it really do against my Pokemon? His entire team is fairly bulky. I could have brought it for the Rain matchup, but the Kingdra can just still outspeed my Serena, go for an Ice Beam into it, and I don't even think a Power Whip will be able to knock out his Kingdra. I was anticipating the Gengar to lead also. So I was anticipating like a Gengar Clefairy lead right there. Okay. So he can't fake out the Aegislash. The Gengar could also go for a Protect right here, which would be a smart move on his part, because he also draws me into Blade form. So I'm not going to get drawn in a Blade form right here. I'm going to go for a... Because he just goes for a Fake Out into the Swampert, though. I don't want to get drawn out into Blade form thus yet. So I'm going to King Shield right here. And then I'm going to Protect and not Mega Evolve. Because next turn I could potentially switches out the Raichu into the Scrafty. Okay. I mean, he threatens my Aegislash, but then I could just still switch it into my Pelipper. And then Earthquake. If he's switching in the Scrafty right now, he can't be going for a Perish Song. That would be incredibly risky. Okay, yeah. So trying to draw me out into blade form. So not falling for that. And even if I went for like an Earthquake and a Wide Guard right there, still doesn't gain me any mileage. Now I could still go for a King Shield right here. Because... So so you have anything that's flying? No. So I'm gonna be bringing my Pelipper right here, and then Mega Evolve, go for an Earthquake. It's still gonna do a lot of damage to the Gengar. Probably bring it down to about 30%. And this could very well switch out the Scrafty. Now, Scrafty can also go for the Fake Out into the Swampert, but this would cover him going for a knockoff into the Aegislash, which would really, really hurt, or even a double up into the Aegislash. He's going to withdraw the Gengar. Who does he bring in? Raichu? This man loves his Fake Out. So he's going to be able to go for a Fake Out on this turn. Maybe even sacking the Raichu right there, but a double up was would have been a good play right there for him as well. So if he lets me get off the Earthquake, he can bring the Gengar back in, and then he just traps me in, and then he can just switch in the Scrafty again, and then be able to go for another Intimidate and trap me in with my Swampert. So let's see. See what he wants to do, because I don't really want to keep my Pelipper in here. So he does not Fake Out, so he might be going for the knock off into the that takes down the Raichu to its Focus Sash, it looks like. Yeah. And that's eject button. Okay, so getting pretty good damage off here, but he's going to bring in his Gengar right now, and now he's trapping my Pelipper in. And then he can go for a Fake Out. Oh, the Kingdra, okay. Do I think... Let me see here. There's no way he goes for a... I'm going to switch into my Vikavolt right here. There's no way that he goes for the... I think he switches out something into the Scrafty. But it doesn't look like it, because both of the Pokemon should have been faster than my Pelipper. Switching Ingerson on a possible Volt Switch. And then he... Let's see if he goes for the Fake Out into the Swampert. I think he wants to switch out his Raichu into either the Scrafty... Oh no, into the Pelipper, okay. And then the Hydro Vortex, this should be into the Swampert. This might be bringing me down to like 70% health left. Because that play was really obvious. So I'm burning the Z move, yet this is going to get enough chip for maybe a Shadow Ball? I still think I'd be able to take a Shadow Ball from a Gengar that's likely bulky. Yeah, right on the money, 70%. Alright. Kingdra can still go for a... probably a Lightning Rod Raichu, so I can't go for a Thunder. Or for a Flash Cannon, that would be neutral on everything that he wants to switch into. And then I'm going to get rid of the Intimidate, because what does he want to go for? Probably a Draco Meteor. And I'm going to bring in my Aegislash, in case he wants to bring in his Gengar. I'm going to get rid of the Intimidate right here, potentially switching in my Aegislash on a possible Draco Meteor. Going to withdraw the Raichu. Great. Is he going to bring in the Scrafty? Okay, this is going to be... it's going to be reasonable chip. And the Intimidate not meeting anything now. Didn't want to go for the Thunder because that would make no sense. Does he go into the... Okay. He does go in the Aegislash, so... Risking it missing, but probably doesn't want to get the special attack drop. Okay. Now I can switch into the Raichu again. A little Bug Buzz. I think the Pelipper's pretty useless. Now let's think this through. I think it's more important to get the Bug Buzz down on the Bug Buzz right here. Should be faster than the Scrafty as well. So I'm going to go for the Never-Ending Nightmare. Let's back up. I don't have enough time. This timer sucks. I wanted to back up, go for the Bug Buzz into the Scrafty because the Kingdra could very well protect the Never-Ending Nightmare away right there. Yeah, and he hits an... Another Hydro Pump into my Aegislash, so he's getting extreme. We're not getting any luck on our side, unfortunately. Could have just King Shield it right there, because that would have been a really obvious play. I mean, a really smart play, but timer ticking down right there. I'm trying to think my moves through thoroughly, but the timer doesn't really allow me to do that. Not the move timer. The move timer is fine. It's just like when you start out with your timer, it's pretty annoying. I'm going to bring in my Swampert right here because the Pelipper really doesn't put much pressure on. He can't really switch anything in on the Earthquake, and I should be faster than the Scrafty. Because if I'm going to go for a Thunder into the Kingdra. I'm going to go for an Earthquake right here because I'll go before my Scrafty. Can he please miss a Hydro Pump? Can he please miss a Hydro Pump? If he switches in, the Raichu goes down. If he switches in the Gengar, it gets a lot of damage onto it. Once the Raichu goes down, then I can get off a Thunder. Yeah, so the Raichu's going down. And then I can get off a Thunder. But he might protect the... no, he just... going for Hydro Pumps, and he just keeps hitting them. This is really frustrating. Really frustrating. Yeah. So... oh, man. I can't say that my opponent's getting really lucky. I mean, that's the risk you take when you run Hydro Pump. You can miss, and then you can hit every single one. And when you hit every single one, it works out in your favor. I just wasn't expecting to get... I really wasn't expecting to get knocked out by a Hydro Pump with my Swampert. Swampert, unfortunately, it's just been very underwhelming. Just not the Pokemon that I thought it was going to be, unfortunately. So I'm going to go for last-ditch effort Tailwind right here. Raichu's probably going to go for a Fake Out into the Vikavolt. Yeah. Let's see. This shouldn't be able to knock my Vikavolt out. Finally, I survive. He hits 4 Hydro Pumps in a row. Swampert just misses the KOs, unfortunately, on Pokemon that he should easily be able to get KOs on. I still don't even think I'm going to be faster than the Kingdra, unfortunately. So, just going to hope that we're faster than Kingdra. And then, I mean, go for, our, I guess, like a Hurricane Confusion into the Kingdra. Raichu's going to Protect, so Protect, Fake Out, which is pretty common on a... we have to get the Confusion right here, or else we lose. Goes for the Ice Beam, probably into Pelipper. Nah, into the Vikavolt. Okay, now he goes for the accurate moves. Okay, so... I'm just going to go for Hurricane into this. I mean, I'm just going to play this out. The Raichu's just going to stay in here. It's going to go down. Or no, he just switches out the Raichu. Is the Scrafty going to come in? Okay, the Scrafty comes in. Rain's going to be running out here, I think, in like one more turn anyway. So, again, I don't think I could have done anything in this game. Opponent got incredibly lucky with every single Hydro Pump. I think I played it correctly with protecting my Swampert. The Hydro Vortex chip onto my Swampert was allowed him to take me out, which is kind of unfortunate, but really not too unexpected, although it was very unexpected to me. And I'm just going to, you know, go for the Hail Mary into the Kingdra. He's going to go for a Fake Out Ice Beam in here anyway. So when I switched out into my whatchamacallit, my Aegislash into the Swampert, I got a lot of damage off into it, which is kind of unfortunate. I'm just going to forfeit right here. And he was able to follow up with a KO. Now, 2 Hydro Pumps into my Aegislash hasn't been able to knock me out, but it is in the rain. Unfortunately, I set up the rain for him. But I have to bring my Pelipper with my Swampert. So, unfortunately, when you have the Swampert with your Pelipper, you're setting up other Swift Swimmers, such as like Kabutops, which outspeeds the Swampert, which really doesn't threaten the Swampert. But then you have the Kingdra, which can threaten the Swampert. You have the... Ludicolo, which then could threaten the Swampert. So that's why, like, Mega Swampert's actually pretty cool, and I really like the speed buff that it gave it, so that when you switch in like a Swift Swimmer and then you Mega Evolve, you can take advantage of Swift Swim on that turn. But Overall, I think it's a very, very underwhelming Mega Pokemon. Essentially, if you get like 1 or 2 Intimidates on it, it becomes like the power output or the amount of damage that Swampert can deal is negligible. And it really can't take many hits. I mean, you essentially have to go like max attack and max speed, because even when you're running Adamant, you're pretty slow with max speed, because I think Mega Swampert actually gets a decrease in its speed, which is kind of silly when it goes into Mega form, but it also gains the Swift Swim ability. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what happened, because some of the Pokemon, such as like Abomasnow and Mega Camerupt, lose speed when they Mega Evolve, but gain bulk at the same time and gain power, which I think also Mega Swampert does. But I definitely could have played the game better. In the first game, the flinch really killed me, and then I probably could have played it better after that. But in the second game, when I switched it into my Aegislash, I had no choice. Swampert was my win condition in that game, because I can get super effective damage off into the Raichu. You know, one more Earthquake would have probably been able to take out the Scrafty. You know, I could potentially, without an Intimidate, take out the Gengar with 1 Earthquake. It's just that Kingdra hitting 4 Hydro Pumps is very, very lucky, because Hydro Pump has an 80% accuracy, has 20% chance to miss. It seems like every time I use it, and when I'm watching other YouTubers, they miss it all the time, yet my opponent hit 4 of them in a row, which is kind of annoying, because we really haven't been getting many fortunate rolls on our parts. We've been getting flinched left and right, getting paralysis, getting burns off of almost every single Scalds, and our opponent's been hitting every single Rock Slides, every single Hydro Pumps, and all of these inaccurate moves. But there's no point in dwelling on it. I'm just trying to think of things that I could have done better in the second game. But overall, we don't have a very good matchup against that team. And Mega Swampert really doesn't have a very good matchup against many other Swift Swimmers, especially Ludicolo. Anyway, guys, I'm going to end the episode right here. I hope you all have a great day. We're going to do one more episode tomorrow, and tomorrow is going to be, I believe, a Premier Challenge in Memphis. On Friday, we have a Premier Challenge. On Saturday, we have the Regionals. And on Sunday, we have the Mid-Season Showdown for people who don't top cut. Hopefully, I do top cut, because I'm going to be getting more points if I even won the Mid-Season Showdown. Anyway, I'll catch you all guys later. Have a great day. Wish me some luck. Peace.